Hey everyone, it is Bev, and we are now live over in xTool's YouTube studio. Let me just get set up. I am so excited to be here, and let me just hide that for a second. Hi guys, good evening. It's Saturday night. How is everyone? Chime in and tell me where you are from. Oh my goodness, we have some people. Hello, Jack. Hello, Adolfo. Let's see. The feet underneath. I think I can do that. Hello, Laser Craftworks. Yay, Cindy. I worked hard today on this setup. I'm in here solo today. And anyway, I worked hard to make sure. So I'm so glad you can hear me. Hello, Miss Sandy from Alabama. Oh man, it's good to see you. We are doing back to school today. I am very, very excited, but we are using the Hello from Ohio Dreamer. Um, I am very, very excited because back to school season is here and we are ready to go. And we are today going to use the UV DT version. I know a lot of people have asked about using the direct to garment version. And so we are. I actually have an unrelated design printing on a color shirt because I know everyone always asks about the color shirts versus white. And the design that I had tonight really goes on a white shirt. So I wanted to make sure that we showed both just for you guys. So anyway, I wanted to say hello. Hi, Rhonda. Hello, Evangeline. Hello, Mark, Illinois, Washington, D.C. Hello, Simone. Hello from Oregon. Okay, hold on, Adolf. You wanted to see the feet? Look, I'm like Bob the Builder over here. Let's see here. Don't know if I can do this really fast, kind of looking. And it looks like these are 18 inches apart. So 18 inches apart is what it looks like the feet in the front are. So Laser Craftworks might be able to get a better measurement since I was trying to like do it when this is printing. And oh, this is going to look good. I'm so excited. So anyway, but I think that they are 18 inches apart. So hello, oh, Germany. Hello, hi class. Hello, Tennessee. Let's go down here. Hello, ever after. Hello, Simone from Oklahoma. All right, I'm going to just pop this up here for you guys tonight. Tonight is the last night of the intro sale. So tonight is the last night of the, I don't know, it's not early bird pricing because it's been tiered already once, but tonight the prices go back up at midnight. I guess it's midnight wherever you are. I don't really understand how that all works, but anyway, midnight. So there is a code, and you can actually save $50 with the code BEV. What code did they give me? BEV Webinar 50, and you can scan to buy. Hello, Wisconsin. You are so welcome. Hello, Washington. Oh, yes. I have the dual UV as a beta tester in the other room, and oh my goodness, I love them all. I absolutely love them all. So while this is finishing printing, hold on, I'm going to come over here because I get a lot of questions about, let me turn this off so you guys can see, okay? So just a second, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to move this over because I get a lot of questions about the, I'm going to leave the chat off. There you go. So that you guys hopefully can see, because I get a lot of questions about the full color printing when I'm live. And so I wanted to go ahead and have one started for you guys while we were doing everything. So I want to come over here. I'm just going to show you for a second. This is the design. I have it sized at 10 inches by 11.8. And I have it running right here. And so that is our remaining time, and it is processing. Whatever it finishes processing, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I did standard, and I did white plus color 100% plus 100%. So I'm just going to copy this over so that we can see right here, just so that we can look at numbers for a second. So I'm going to just calculate it. Obviously, we're not going to print this one because the other one is printing, but I want to show you time. So the time, 7 minutes and 46 seconds. And the cost for this design to print, 1 second here. Oh, wait, this one is on high quality. I'm going to need to go back, but 80 0.088 cents. So that's like 9 cents of ink right there. So, but let me change this back because I printed the other one on standard and I did it white plus color. There we go. We need to be fair in our mathematical equations. Anyway, so now this is going to change a little bit. So 9 minutes, 45 seconds. And let's see here. And 60 cents of ink. That sounds better. That sounds more accurate. 60 cents of ink for that. So we're going to wait for this one to finish. And then I'm going to come back over here to you guys and see. But I did want to have that printing just because everyone asked about the full color printing. And you are so welcome. Just so that way we I know that I'm printing on white tonight, and I wanted to make sure that you guys could see something in color print. And this one is on standard printing, and so which is pretty fast and does not lay down as much ink. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and we're going to just, with the magic, going to move this right over here. Whoops. Hold on, I hear an echo in here. Hold on just a second, guys. Let me just turn this off so that there's no echo. There. Sorry about that, guys. Did not mean to leave you, but we don't need an echo in here. And so there, I'm going to take our frame off. So the DTG portion, the DTG tray has a little frame that helps hold our shirt flat. So as I take it off, I'm going to be really careful not to smudge it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it over on our heat press so that it can cure and the ink can dry. So I'm going to just put that on really quick. I could have chosen maybe a little different color shirt. I wasn't really sure what color shirt to put this on. My probably the only one who has that issue. I'm not going to close my heat press all the way. I sort of want my heat to hover. So whenever you take your shirt off of the DTG, it is still damp. It's not like wet, but it's a little damp. And you don't want to fold it up. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to smear it. And also, I have found that if you let the heat press hover over it first before you actually close the heat press and press it firmly, that cures your ink. But I feel like whenever the ink is really wet, you're also taking away a little bit of the color when you do that. So that is one of those things that I would say, test it. You should take a t-shirt. If you're getting the UV DT version, you should take a t-shirt and you should print on every square inch of that t-shirt and test all the different kind of settings. And so let's see here. So Laser Craftworks has better measurements than me. And so can we purchase the file somewhere? Yes, Becky, that is my file. It is on Soul and Grace Designs. That's my website. And if you just type in Where He Leads, it should pop up. It's under the Christian section, Christian and Inspirational. And so thank you, Alexander. What are the actual measurements of the machine? Oh, thank you. Maybe Eric will answer that for us. And so while this is curing, let's talk about back to school. How many people have back to school going on? Anyone? Are we the only one in Texas that we've actually started? We started back Wednesday. Last night was the first night. So in Texas, you can't start playing football until like a certain date. So at 12:01 a.m. last night, we kicked off football here in Texas. And so my daughter, who is an athletic trainer, was there until 1:30 at football games at the stadium. Kind of fun, but that is how we roll here. But so we are doing back to school, really fun stuff. So you started on the 4th. That is early. Although I guess, I'm sorry, you guys, my bangs are making me crazy. I guess technically, like my daughter went back because she had like, I don't know, she's a senior, so they're doing all kinds of stuff. But so it is fun. So now with the UVDT, I'm just going to go over here to our screen. I'm going to turn off the graphic. You guys make sure to scan that. If you want to buy before midnight when the prices go up, you have to scan to buy. So there's 3 winners. We'll take home a UV ink set, but you need to scan. Casey, putting the email inside the won't do anything. You have to scan scan that QR code, and then if you want to save, you can use Bev Webinar 50 to save. Hello, Richard, New York. Okay, I just want you guys to know, Richard is usually here in the studio setting up my lights and doing stuff for me. So if anything is wrong, it's Richard's fault because he's in New York. Just teasing. It's actually my fault because it's just me here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this graphic off, and so I can show you guys. There we go. I'm going to come back over here to the xTool, to the studio, and we are going to come to a new page. I'm going to delete this. So I want to show you guys a little bit of some things, and I'm going to switch back really fast. I want to make sure you can see everything. So let me know, you guys, can you see the whole screen whenever I had it down? Just want to make sure that you can see. I think you can. So I'm going to go ahead and come back over here. So when you're in xTool Studio and you are looking at your O1 Omni printer and you're looking at the device health, there is a guide for us to see. It'll show us when the maintenance is expiring. It'll tell us if there's anything wrong at all with the printer, anything we need to do. It is all right here under our device help. So this is the one that the UVDT, and it has two print heads. It has a UV print head and it has a DTG print head, so direct to garment. And when one is printing, the other one is essentially wet capped. It has moisturizing liquid that goes into the capping station and keeps it ready for the next time it prints. However, what that means is that anytime you switch heads back and forth, the other one has to wake up and do a self-cleaning cycle. And when you put that one to sleep, it has to fill with moisturizing liquid. So my suggestion is to do all of your DTG type prints first or second, whichever one, but do them in a bundle. So do your UV printing together, do your DTG printing together. So that way you're not waking up, putting to sleep your print heads back and forth. And that will save you a little bit of moisturizing liquid and also time, because it takes time to put them into sleep mode, out of sleep mode. So then it'll tell you if what your humidity is, and I should bump my humidity up. We've been moving stuff around today. What your temperature is. It'll tell you what your inks are. It'll also tell you when it's time to, and I just actually did that right before we got online. And I actually cleaned that one too. And then it'll tell you how long you have for your air filter. I cleaned that tonight beforehand, and I cleaned our UV lamp. So we did everything I needed to do. But all of this is right here for you. It makes it super easy to keep up with your maintenance on the DTG. And so let's see here. The actual, there we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, everything's beeping at me tonight. So I have it, and we are on our garment tray. And so it shows us that this is the top, and this is our top of our platen. This is the border of our platen. And I'm going to go ahead and switch back over because we're going to load a t-shirt onto the platen. Okay, guys, let's see here. I'm going to put this one over here so you guys can see what we're doing. And let's see here. Let's see. Pixie, I did get to order the dual head. Yay, I'm so happy for you ever after. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put up the graphic for anyone new. There we go. And then I think you guys can still see, hopefully there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cure. And then I'm going to also we're going to use just a plain white t-shirt for the next design. Okay. So the plain white one, when we are doing plain white, we do not need to pre-treat. When we are doing, when we're not using white ink, we don't need to pre-treat. When we're doing color ink, we need to pre-treat. So we're going to spray with pre-treat spray if I was using white ink on this. And so I had to pre-treat this. I think I said that backwards. We're going to say this again just to make sure I'm clear. Okay. If you are not using white ink, you don't need to pre-treat. So white t-shirts, pale pink, pale gray, pale yellow, cream colored. If you do not want to pre-treat those, you do not have to. When you are using a dark color t-shirt and you're using white ink, you must pre-treat. Pre-treat, you're just going to spray this evenly. You're going to heat press it to cure. Then you're going to print. Okay, so that's what we did to this one. And I'm going to show you that whenever it comes off from curing. But this one is just a plain white t-shirt. So we do not need to, we don't need to pre-treat it. We don't need to do anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just load it onto our platen right here. And let me see here. I'm going to hopefully, let me see which side. I don't want to stand in the way of the camera. So I'm going to just load this on. And I feed mine on. Now, you don't have to feed yours on. You could just lay it flat if you wanted to. I'm going to feed mine on. I used to print DTG with a larger DTG printer, and I had bleed through a lot from the front to the back. I haven't experienced that on here, but I still kind of worry about that. So you want to just kind of get it all even. This little line right here at the center of your platen is where you want the center of your neckline to be. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to get everything as even and as smooth as you possibly can. And then you're also going to lint roll. So you want to lint roll your shirt because any lint that is on your shirt will most definitely show through your ink. So you want to lint roll your shirt. You want this part of your collar to be up off of the platen so that the magnetic frame can hold it and be perfect right there. And we're going to pull this up just a tad. There we go. And I think we're even, and I hope we're even, kind of looking. Some of these shirts, you guys, some of them are like sewn the most crooked ways lately. So, well, if we're crooked, we're just going to go with it, okay? We're not going to talk about it. We're just going to go ahead and go with it. And then you also have inside on your magnetic, there's a line here, and there's lines on the side too to help you center. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this on, and you want it to snap into place. And then once you do that, you want to make sure that everything is perfectly smooth. The smoother it is, the better it prints. If you have ripples in your t-shirt, it's going to print to the highest ripple, and it's not going to give you a nice smooth print. So you want everything to be nice and smooth. And I'm going to go ahead and load that in. So, whoops. This one just came off. Let's see here. There we go. So this one just came off the heat press, perfectly pressed. And so because there is white ink, I can feel it. People ask all the time about the feel. It is less than a DTF transfer, but more than sublimation if you have white ink. So if you've ever sublimated, ever done anything like that, so it has a little bit more. Now, if you're doing on a white t-shirt with just color ink, it feels just like sublimation. You don't feel it at all. The white ink is what gives it a little bit of a hand, but it's still super, super soft. So let me see here if we have anyone in the chat. Let's see here and feed it on anyways. I know, I agree, it does. So thank you, Sandy. I just love this. I think it's just, I was going to try it on navy, but my navy shirt had like a little oil spot on it. I need to clean off my shelf. Anyway, so that's that. So we have one down. I'm going to place that one over here out of our way. And we're going to go ahead and start on our next one. So let me see here. I'm going to hide the chat, and I'm going to hide our graphic for us right there. And let's see here. All right, let's move this back over. Hi, guys. There we go. And I'm going to choose xTool Studio. And right here, we can see our platen. And I actually made a saved projects so that I had all of the stuff I wanted to do tonight. So I'm just going to add this to a new project, and I'm going to copy and paste my designs over. And I am drinking coffee tonight. No one tell Kelly Crane, okay? When I'm up at 2 a.m., we'll just deal with it. Let me see here. Which one is, okay, so this is the t-shirt, I think. Yep, this is the t-shirt design. So I'm just going to control copy. I just loaded them all into a file so that way I didn't have to look for them on my desk, on my computer. And I'm just going to go ahead and control V, not control P, control V. And I need to make this a little bit smaller to fit. And right there. And so now I can scan, because you can scan even with the the flatbed or the DT method if you want. However, because I know the shirt covers the entire platen, I don't really need to use my time scanning. And I know that my collar is right here. So I'm just going to move it down just a tad bit so we're not right at the collar, so we have a little bit of the little 3-finger kind of length up there. And then I'm going to change this to color only. And I'm going to tell it to do high quality because I want a nice vibrant print on that white t-shirt. And so then I'm going to tell it to process. And over here, it's going to tell me our time. So 8 minutes, 49 seconds. And our cost to print is going to be, let's see here. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that I have done most of my t-shirts on standard with very good results, but I do want to show you guys like a really high quality on just white. So this is 8 cents to print a t-shirt, 8 cents. And so now we're going to come back over here and let that go ahead and print, and we can chit chat while that prints. And so let's see here. Yay. Oh, you're so welcome, Tay. I know the Wonder Press, you guys, it is this year. It's really funny to me, not funny to me. I think that's probably the wrong word, but like exciting to me because I feel like all of the machines that have come out this year from xTool really have sort of a synergy. Like the Wonder Press really works with the O1, the M2 really complements everything else. Like I just feel like we have such a great lineup of equipment this year. It's very, very exciting to me as a person who loves all of the xTool products. So anyway, so this is going to print. And while that prints, any questions about the DTG printing? Does anyone have questions about it? I love DTG printing. We used to DTG print on a full-size printer, and I absolutely love how the t-shirts come out. I love how quick you can print with on light colored shirts with no color. On standard, the standard quality, 8 cents, Jack. I said 8. Let's see. I'll show you right here. Let's go back. Let me hide my graphic. Right here. Sorry, guys. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but oh, well, it's going there now, but it was 8 cents. Now, whenever we did the other one and we added the white ink, it was like 4. What was the last one? Does anyone remember what the last one was? I want to say it was 60 cents, 40 cents. So I don't remember. I think it was 60 cents. The one that we did, this one with white ink was 60 cents. What is the speed comparison between DTG printing and printing on DTF film? So for something like this, or if we were doing, so this one, I want to say on high, what did I do this one on? Standard quality? You guys, I keep going back and forth. I don't remember what I did. What was this, like 8 minutes? And so you're going to look at 8 minutes for the DTF, like it would be that same thing. Thank you, Laser Crafts. I knew it was something like that. So depending on, the density of your design, like that design right there is very dense. It's very solid in the middle. It doesn't have a lot of negative space, anything like that. So that one's going to be a little bit longer to print than, let's say, like the one I have on the screen right now. There's a ton of negative space in there. It's not as dense of a design. So it will, take a little less time. But so yes, DTF, if you're going to print like a lot of DTF, I would tell you that it's probably the apparel printer that you want to look at versus the O1. But for printing t-shirts, I don't think you can beat the DTG function over here with the O1, like having both in one machine. It is very exciting to me. I've been printing t-shirts all around the studio. Like I have little piles of them where I've been testing all the different stuff, and it's so much fun. So while we're doing that though, I am going to go ahead and start because we are going to print on a clipboard and an eraser. We're going to make a little back to school set for a teacher. So we're going to do the t-shirt, then we're going to do a clipboard, we're going to do an eraser. And I thought it would be really fun to also put a little bit of dry erase markers inside our bag for the feature set, because we're going to switch over and we're going to do the hard surface UV printing after this. So let's see. I'm going to pick out the bright colors because let's how many we can fit in here. Don't think I can fit my eraser. Can I fit my eraser too? Oh, I can. So we're going to do the eraser and maybe like 4 markers, I think, like that. So after I print, we'll tie it in a ribbon. But so we're going to do a little gifty set. And let me see here. Let me move that down over here. So this is where we're going with this. So we're going to do a t-shirt, a clipboard, a dry erase. You could also do a badge tag. You could do a lanyard. You could do a badge reel, depending on what your teachers do for school or what they use, kind of thing. A lot of fun. So what else are you guys doing on Friday nights or Saturday night? Tonight is Saturday. You guys, it's Saturday night. What else are you guys going to do on Saturday night? Anything? Anything fun? Got to talk to me while this is printing. Oh, this is so pretty. It is looking fantastic. So the one thing about DTG printing is the higher quality of cotton, and the smoother the fibers, the better your print is going to be. And so it is one of those things where cheap t-shirts and DTG print don't go really hand in hand. If you want a nice t-shirt, you want something really, really smooth to print on nicely. And so we're going to keep printing, and I'm going to come up here. I'm going to hide our little graphic here. And then let me see here. What starting fall early? Why not? Saw the Spider-Man movie. Oh, that's fun. I haven't seen the Spider-Man movie. Actually, I haven't been to a movie in 10 years. So I know, or maybe actually longer. Let me think. The last movie I went to see was Frozen, when Frozen came out. So if anyone knows when Frozen came out, that's the last time I went to a movie theater. Let's see. Hot chocolate sounds good. I love hot chocolate. And so let's go ahead and do this. So tonight, the sale inside, you guys probably all have your UV printers, right? How many people have already ordered an 01? I want to see a show of hands because I want to see what everyone makes whenever you get yours. Let's see here. That's pretty exciting. So anyway, so the 01 with the DT and the UV, you are going to be able to print basically everything. You'll be able to also add in, if you add in the laminator with the laminator to the bundle. So Cindy, the Dual, I love my Dual. The Dual is a fantastic one, but you'll be able to do decals if you add in the laminator, and then you'll be able to do tumblers if you add in the rotary unit. So let's see, Sandy, yes, Dual, CT and Dual, UVDT, Robert, hi Robert, hi Phil. The Dual is amazing. UVDT, you guys, it's gonna be fun because you know what's gonna, whenever the group, like the xTool, the website, not the Facebook group, when everyone finally gets their printers and everyone starts showing their projects, it is going to be like almost like Christmas, to change the whole tenor of everything, and everyone will be sharing projects. Is anyone planning Christmas? Cindy, yes, the laminator. I can't wait for my laminator to get here. So I cannot wait to make some decals. And I love doing the tumblers already. And so M2, oh, I love my M2. You're going to love the M2 too, Melissa. And so the Dual with the bundle, Robert, you're going to love that too. So I absolutely love the M2. I was cutting applique fabric with it earlier. And then my daughter, this is really funny too. So my daughter switches out like her little photos in her bedroom all the time. And so it's funny, they all think that having a digital camera is new, okay, which just cracks me up so much. And so usually she sends everything to CVS to get printed. And so the other day she was like, I need some photos printed. And I was like, wait, I have photo paper and I have the M2. And I was able to just print them out and cut them to size and fit all of her weird little picture frames that she picks up wherever she finds them. And so, I mean, like, I found so much like just practical purposes for the M2 that you wouldn't even think of since we've had it. And so you're going to have so much fun. Tay, exactly. Tay, I am waiting for that day. I am so excited about that. And so Christina, oh yay, you're going to be so happy with the M2. So there's between stickers and decals and cutting things and making things. There's, I mean, lasering things. There's a lot that you can do. Plus, you can start cutting things out to be able to if you don't want to print on it with the inkjet, if you want to print on it with the UV ink, you'll be able to do that. Hey, Robin, how are you? Good to see you from Kansas. And so it's going to be so much fun. I am very excited for everyone to get theirs and to, you know, start sharing projects and things like that. I think that it'll just be, you know, everyone can learn from each other. There's so much fun with printing. Okay, so this is printed. And so now it's going to be wet, so I'm just going to be really careful when I take it off because I am the queen of like making a mistake. Hold on. My heat press keeps wanting to go off. There we go. So I'm going to pull this tray out right there. And so this is our t-shirt. Let me see here. Right here. So our t-shirt is printed. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay it gently down so that we can cure it. And while it is curing, we're going to flip our trays over and we're going to start printing our clipboard and our eraser set. So I'm going to lay it down. I'm not going to close it all the way. I'm just going to gently kind of leave it so that it can hover, kind of air dry it a little bit. And so now I'm going to just release my clips to the side right here. So there's two little button on either side. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. Whoops. Lay that down under there. And I am going to grab my larger tray. We're going to put the clipboard first. And so I'm going to grab my A3, is that correct? A3 tray. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. So now for the clipboard, thank you so much. So with the clipboard, I'm going to do the back side, but we have to level it out, right? So we have to level it. Yes, Jack, I'm going to press it once it's dry to lock it in. So you must heat press it to seal it. You do it for 120 seconds. And so you want to make sure that it's really good. We used to print with an Epson. And so I personally like, yes, so Tay, I do like having it air heat cure for at least a minute before I press it. I just find that I get better results. That's how I used to do it with our Epson. I'm kind of a creature of habit and I feel like it's better. So, oh, hey, Joey in Frisco. And so that's funny, Jack Bauer. I didn't even put that together. So, Joey, I got to talk to Joey earlier today. So when I'm going to do this, when I have odd shapes, so we can't have anything that's not level in our in here. And so let me pull this over here. So, and then I'm going to hide this. Make sure if you want $50 off, Bev Webinar 50, and just scan the QR code, okay? And so now, so because we can't have anything that is not level, I'm going to actually use some little cork coasters. You can use whatever, Play-Doh, cork coasters. You can use, I don't know. Sometimes I even use my little alcohol prep pads, whatever you have, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, and I'm going to lay it down this way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a level, and I'm going to just make sure that I am pretty level in my settings right there. Let's see here. Which way do I need to go? I need to go that way. So I'm going to try to see if I need one more or if that's going to be too much. There we go. That was actually perfect. So now I have it in there. And then I really wish that they would put some lines on this bed because even though we can match it up, I still like it to be straight. So I'm going to put that in and we're going to come over here and you guys, I'm going to just drag this here, and I'm going to switch back over to the xTool page. So I'm going to say that that's finished. I'm going to say switch, and whoops, don't know why it gave me my small one. Hold on. Here we go. Switch, delete. Why is it doing that? I have my large plate in and not the there. Let's switch it. There we go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scan it. And while that's scanning, I'm going to figure out which one is my clipboard. And I'm going to control copy. And I'm going to control paste over here. So that way we're ready for our matching clipboard design to go with our t-shirt. So now that this is covered for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and let that while we're going to multitask over here. So this is going to go ahead and scan for me. And while it is scanning, I'm going to come back over here and see you guys. And let's see, how long do I leave it hovering? For a minute or so. Sometimes I walk away, I forget. So sometimes it's like 5 minutes, but you know, just long enough to let it kind of like, I don't know, air out a little bit, like have it have a little bit of it dry out. Let's see, the DTG and apparel printer. So, you know, I love my apparel printer and I love DTG. So I think it really depends. I have customers who still request DTG shirts, so I'm really excited about having that back. For big runs, you can't beat the apparel printer. So I think it really just depends on what you're doing and what you're making, for it to be, you know, to make sense, kind of thing. And so yes, and I agree with that. So the Omni times 2 is still less than an apparel printer. If you wanted lines on the bed, couldn't you just print them? I probably could. Someone else said that last time. And so, and then I saw someone who actually put like a, I don't know, it looked like a sewing mat, like a cutting mat that we use when we sew. I'm sure that someone's going to be, you know, 3D printing. I was going to say UV printing, but 3D printing, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to switch back over for a second. Okay, guys. And so now that our clipboard is scanned in, now because I have corners and all kinds of stuff here, and my sizing is a little bit off. I didn't measure correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and smart mask my object. And I'm going to run the extraction. And go ahead and let it tell me where my clipboard is. I'm going to say apply. So that way my item, I can figure out where I want it to be. And I'm going to actually do a little bit of stretching. I think we're going to be okay if I do right there. I don't think that's going to distort anything too badly. And so I'm going to go ahead and let it just stretch in. I don't want to stretch it that too far. So I think we're going to just leave it like that. I think it'll look cute whenever it's printed. And so over here, it does need white and color, and I'm going to do standard quality on this. And then I'm going to go ahead and tell it to process. And this is where we're going to find out our time. So wait, 24 minutes. That is wrong. We're not doing 24 minutes. Hold on, guys. Let's see here. We're going to go to fast, and we are still doing white and color. And then we're going to process. There we go. And now then, 22 minutes. I don't know why that's taking so long. I did clipboard the other day and it was like 8 minutes. I feel like I have something wrong on here, but 27 cents of ink. We're going to still go with it, and we're going to go ahead and heat. So this is because I switched from our DT over to the UV, and so it's going to go ahead and heat up. That's why if you were around at the beginning, that I suggested that we should batch our things. So if you're going to go back and forth between UV and DT printing, you want to go ahead and do all of your UV together, and then you want to do all of your DT printing together. So that way you're not flipping the head back and forth and wasting time heating, capping, that kind of thing. So we're going to let that do its thing over here. We have a lot of time to talk, guys. And so the, let's see here. Yes, the lines in the bed. So we are I'm caught up. You guys are not as chatty tonight. Last time I could not keep up with the live chat. So anyway, let's see. Tonight's a little slow. It's our projects are a little longer in time. And so let's see. We're going to go ahead and go over here. So because my camera on my computer is a little bit, I don't know why it's so like hazy over here. Maybe I need to clean it. Hold on, guys. There. Is that better? It's a little better. Maybe my camera was dirty. But we'll go over here so that you guys can see. So there's our t-shirt right there. And I have it here. And so I'm going to go ahead and we'll have this ready for when our clipboard prints, whenever that heats up and prints. And so, yeah, Tay on the white like that, it pops so much. And I just love it so much. And so, thank you, Robin. So the smart masking feature is absolutely one of my very favorite things. And I can't wait. I'm hoping some of the testers we all put into there was like a little feedback channel when we were testing, asked for the smart mask to be in the lasers too. And I was actually working on the F2 Ultra today, and I think I saw it, or I saw some sort of pattern in there. Because even on jewelry, like sometimes I like to do like a leopard print all over my jewelry piece or something like that. And I'm always trying to like measure and like make sure I reach the edges. So a smart mask would make life so easy, even in the like laser side of things too. So hopefully they do that, because that smart mask is fantastic. So while this is doing that, I want to show you guys a few things. So I'm going to turn off my graphics again, and I'm going to take us over to the studio. And while this, I'm going to go ahead and just minimize this for a second while this is working. And I'm going to come to a new page right here. I'm going to switch it. Doesn't matter what we have on the screen, because I want to show you guys some of the new applications that they have, some of the new generators. So there is a paw print cleanup. So if a customer has ever asked you to engrave the paw print, so now there is like a nice way to engrave it. It's darkened, the kids' drawing style. So you can get like a coloring book page. There's new pixel art. So it actually looks here. I'm going to actually click on this one because it's so cute. So you can actually turn things into a, let's just go ahead on this dog. So it turns it into like a pixel art kind of design. Almost looks like cross stitch to me, but it does also look like the pixel art, like the little keychains and stuff that people do. So you can turn any photograph into pixel art. There's also this new optical illusion kind of thing. So this one's kind of fun because you can do all sorts of special effects when you're printing an abstract line art file. So this one was really is actually really popular in embroidery too. So this like outline style, the word cloud. So where you can type in your words, you can pick your shape, and it'll make you like a little shape, a little cloud shape there. And then they have things like the rulers, the seamless pattern. So this is what I was seeing earlier. So there's a tile generator here, and arranges it so that you can do all sorts of laser patterns. So much fun. So much fun over here. They have added generator after generator this time around. The embossing, so that if you want to do a 3D effect whenever you're printing, the crochet pattern. The raster cards are the lenticular. So the lenticular and raster is like used interchangeably. The oil painting, which I can show you guys one. I've shown it before in lives. Wedding sign generators, cake toppers, halftone makers, sticker makers, changing any photo into a sticker, the stained glass generator, barcodes, jigs. You guys, this one's really exciting because now you can create jigs, and not just for your laser, you can actually output it as an STL. So if you're a 3D printer, you can output it as an STL file and 3D print, and then layered cutting. So I know that under different machines, all of the generators change, but I'm really excited about this because I think it's going to be such a cool feature to be added. So let's see here. Are there any limitations to the smart mask? Do any object colors? I have not found any limitations to the smart mask. The only thing I have found is like poker chips that are black. And so they have like the little black raised edge. Sometimes the poker chips have a little bit of distortion on them, but that's the only one that I've had trouble getting it to mask in the pure circle, if that makes sense. Auto measure on my P2 with darker objects. So the difference between the P2 camera and all the camera systems and the O1 is the lasers all have a camera, and the camera just takes the pictures, or like the P3 has cameras on both sides. And so you can get distortions around the edges because eventually it'll fisheye out. So there's pixel scan technology in the O1, and what that does is there's little leveling lasers on either side so that your print head is never going to collide with your object. And then there's a scanner at the top, like a flatbed scanner that you would have in, say, a printer, like a flatbed printer that also has a scanner. So it's going to scan evenly across the entire bed. And so you're not going to lose out as much on detail. You're going to have pretty exact in all the corners. And so you can do pins very easily on here. We have printed many ink pens on here, and you can get the text pretty small. High quality is one of those things, though, that you want to do whenever the smaller your text, the higher quality you kind of want to go. So that way it takes its time and does a really good job. We've done even printed on golf tees, on the side of golf tees, pretty small. And so now our heads have queued up, and we are printing our clipboard, and everything is looking fantastic over here. And so, so tell me, guys, any other questions? What's the first thing you're going to make when your O1 comes in? Anyone have any ideas of what they're going to make when their O1 comes in? You guys, I should not be drinking coffee at 9:00 at night, but I am drinking coffee at 9:00 at night. Let's see. Anyone? What are you guys going to make? No one's going to make anything. It's going to be very sad in the group if no one's making anything. But tonight, midnight, the sale will end at midnight. So the pricing will go up on the website. I don't really know what it's going up to, but it will go up. And so just make sure that you are ordering. Here is the scan to buy. And if you want to save $50, Bev webinar, webinar 50. So you can use Bev webinar 50. Hold on. Let's see here. Would a jig be picked up as an object too? Yes. I know, right? The output I didn't even see this little thing. So hat patches will be so much fun. And so national park maps. Oh, Becky, that's really cool. Do you go to like national parks, is that like a, not hobby? What would you call that? I guess not a hobby. What would that be? But I have a friend who does national parks. He's a photographer, and he makes puzzles out of them. It is so cool. Robin, magnets. Magnets are so fun. Bag tags. Yes, Miss Sandy, we're going to make some bag tags, aren't we? I plan on making 2 metal signs with my website. And pickleball accessories. That's really cool. That I 3D print to hang up at 2. It's funny. Someone asked me if bucket lists, Becky, that's a great bucket list, is the national parks. So tell us which ones you have gone to. Tay, someone asked me to 3D, or not to 3D print, but to UV print on a pickleball paddle, and I couldn't do it because the handle was taller than the paddle part. So I'm wondering, do any of the pickleballs paddles come like where you can take them apart, like interchange the handles and then the paddle? And so, skateboard decks will be really cool. That would be really cool, especially after the first one that they showed at CES last year. The skateboard decks would be a very cool thing to make. We used to go to the store. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, but when the boys were younger, like junior high-ish age, and they're all three, like they're 24, 23, and 21 now. So they're like close in age. And so they used to love to skateboard. And we used to take them to one of those skateboard shops where they could pick out all of their decks and their wheels and the this and the that. And so it was a lot of fun. None to sell, but good for me. So yes. So Becky, I think that's so cool though to go to the national parks as a bucket list. And so I don't know. I couldn't find any, and I think that maybe I could find a way to like place it on the outside and the handle hanging off, but I wasn't able to figure it out. Yes. And so, but yeah, the skateboard decks will be so much fun. Very, very fun. And so let's see, we have a few things. I'm going to kind of move to the side. If you guys have been watching the lives, then you've seen pretty much all the stuff up on the walls, but really the sky's the limit. It is only your imagination. The one thing that I love about UV printing versus, let's say, like even lasering, is that if you can put it in there flat, you can try to print on it. And so as long as you can get something level, chances are you can print on it. And if you print on it and it doesn't stick, then you would go to your primers and you would try and work on primers to do things. So like these will come with your inks. A little container of these come with your inks. And so they have like the primers for glass and ceramics. So if you want to do a glass tumbler or you want to do something glass so that the ink sticks, a primer for metal. So this is what we use on our metal jewelry. That's another glass and ceramics. I think there's one for acrylic in here. And so it makes it, so if you ever test something, so whenever I print on something, the first time I print on a new object and it's slick, right? So something like this wood eraser, I'm not worried about. It has texture to it. And so it's going to be able to be printed and I'm not worried about anything at all. And so, but if I'm printing on something really smooth, then I'm going to want to test it the first time. So the first time that what I do is I print on something if it's smooth, and then I will take packing tape and I'll rub it onto whatever it is, and then I'll peel the tape off. And so if the print comes off with the tape, then I know that I need to go to my primer and try to create a chemical bond with whatever it is. And so that is the best way to do that. And so you just want to go ahead and try. So it's just like lasering. You do want to do testing, but chances are the only things I've really ever found that could not be primed or could not stick, silicone watch bands, like for smartwatches. And the silicone there's no way to create that chemical bond. And then the other thing, someone brought a hockey puck to us to print on, and the hockey puck reacted the same way that the silicone bands do, and it just bubbled up and just kind of peeled off. So, but I have seen other people print on hockey pucks. So I'm not sure if different hockey pucks are made out of different things. I'm not hockey savvy enough to know that. There's a primer that you could use on hockey pucks. So whichever way, I did not have luck with the hockey pucks or the silicone watch bands. But just about anything else, I've been able to either find a promoter or primer to use, or do a little bit of sanding, or do something to get the ink to stick. And so this is printing out very nicely. And so I probably could have even done that one on fast and not even on standard, because I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can move this up a little. It's coming out really nice and solid white. So I probably could have done it on standard, on fast, and not just standard printing. So it'll be great. So tell me some other things that you have. Anyone have questions? You guys are very quiet tonight. Let's see here. Let's see what else, other things they've given me to show you guys. So the clogging. So the way that the O1 is set up, it is set up to combat clogging. So the auto white stirs. So the white ink will auto stir because white ink has a pigment in it that makes it heavy and sinks to the bottom. And it also has a moisturizing fluid hydration system, and it basically wet caps. And so if you are you familiar with any other printing, It really helps to prevent clogs, prevent it from drying out. I still feel like you need a humidifier in your room, in your space, an evaporative humidifier. You want your humidity. Printers love humidity. It's always a good thing to do. And so, and then we have some other, some test color prints. And so I've actually seen this in real life, and I will vouch for this. Someone else brought me some prints and had me print the same image because they wanted to compare. And so the colors are G7 certified. So if you have the apparel printer, and you know G7 is like the top-notch certification for color printing. So the colors come out perfectly. Now, I am super excited about this. They have not told us. I mean, I've only seen the same ads and the same videos as you guys, but there's going to be some sort of DTG and embroidery sync mode. And I think that's really cool because sometimes customers bring us for embroidery logos, chat GPT images, things like that are way too dense to embroider. There's no way that we could get the tones or the thread color changes or gradients in a logo and thread to be the same. And so I'm very excited about that. And so it's going to have a lot of really cool things. So let me just go back to here, come back over here, and let's see. I'm learning and taking notes. Yay, LaserCraft works. Thank you. I'm going to use it on crystal hearts. Oh, I love that, Becky. That is going to be so cool. Hey, Richard, how are you? We actually had one. I think my son took it before I took a picture of it, but he has friends that are getting engaged. And so got engaged, they're getting married. And so he did the stars in the sky, some sort of star planet thing in the sky, and then he did their photo behind it, and it turned out like it was the coolest thing. And you know what, I know the girl, and so I will just absolutely I'm going to find a picture of that because we did that. He engraved the stars, and then we printed the photo on the backside. It was so neat. And so yes, you guys, if you have not watched Laser Craftworks videos, he has some great ones on the O1 and on questions and answers and how to do different things. So absolutely, Tay, we love them too over here. And so we love all of our makers videos. And so there's so many talented people in the xTool ecosystem. And so let's see here. We are almost ready to add color. You guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, because I'd be lonely if you guys weren't chit-chatting with me. And it's late and I'm drinking coffee. So anyone wants to message me at 2 a.m., chances are I'll be up watching TikToks. So what else, you guys? What else are you guys wanting to make? Are you guys excited? So who has seen the X1 promo videos? Anyone think who thinks they know what that is? Because I have no idea what it is, but I'm very excited about it. I saw it released the other day, I guess when everyone else did, when they put the video up for the X1 and they have the little blacked out picture of it. What do you call it? You know, like the kind of hidden picture. And so I am hoping doom scrolling TikTok. That's me. That's going to be me. 2 a.m. after all this coffee, I'm going to be like, oh, I mean, following that trial that's going on. I'll be just scrolling around, and my husband will be like telling me to go to sleep. So yes, I'm so excited about it too. So it's called the X1. I don't know what it is. I have some uneducated guesses. And so, I mean, hey, I don't know how to say your name. Hey, I don't know. Anyway, I would love a flying galvo. Absolutely love a flying galvo. And so I've been trying to convince myself that I want the metal fab and going ahead and having electric put into this building that can hold it. But then I think that X1, maybe I need to just hold out and add the X1 to the studio instead of a metal fab. And so, Tay, isn't that the most fun part? Like, I remember when I got my very first laser in 2019, nothing was safe. I walked around the house, and if I could put it in the laser bed, I lasered on it. Everything got lasered. Everyone got a lasered Christmas present. Everyone got a lasered birthday present. Whatever it was, they got lasered. And so I agree. So lenticular cards. I need to master lenticular cards. I have not mastered that yet. And so when will a machine be shipped to you? I do not know the answer to that. And so That is one I will say that they are rolling out when people have ordered. And so I do know people have posted that they got their shipping notices already from the very first of July, like July 15th. And so we can't hey hauler. Oh, that makes sense. I see that now. Hey hauler. That's funny. So thank you so much. She's the reason. I appreciate that. So I don't think that that one is the embroidery machine on the X one, but I am excited for the embroidery machine to connect with the DTG. And so that part will be very exciting. I do think that I might be a little unlevel back here at the back because my white is spraying a little bit at the top. I might not be perfectly level. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to let it continue to print, even though it's going to take time, because I wanted you guys to see this, because I think that I might be a little bit off because my white down here is absolutely perfect. But up here, I can see a little bit of overspray. And if you have overspray, that means that you are not level in the bed, that something is not height adjusted correctly. And so, hello, Miss Patricia, how are you? Let me see here. Let me see. Laser Craftworks makes me wonder what else they're coming. I know. I'm very excited about that. And I agree that everything is starting to work together. And it's really like, I don't know, there's like some synergy going on, if you will. And let's see, can it print directly on shirt sleeves or pants? Yes. So Frog Leo, if you can get it flat in there, you can print on it. So on pants, you would need to, my guess would be put something inside of it, like a pressing pad or on top of it. You want it to be as flat and smooth as you possibly can with fabric, because wherever there's a ripple, it's going to print at the top of the ripple. And so that's not going to be completely even. So if you can put it on there, I'm hoping, really hoping that xTool or some 3D printers come out with some more platens, because when we had our old DTG, we had platens for like baby onesies, platens for like left chest, different things like that. So I'm hoping that as things progress, that more platens will come out so that we have some flexibility in what we do. So let's see. What do I, yep. Let's see, who has not dabbed in laser? So a flying galvo is like, from what I understand, I've never seen one in person. I've only watched videos, but it is like, so on a CO2 laser, you have a gantry and it moves back and forth. So the laser head is affixed to something and it has to move back and forth across the bed. When you have something like the F2 Ultra, the F2, your laser head is fixed in place. And then the beam just comes down and the beams dance to engrave. So this is a very like not a scientific explanation, okay? But this is how Bev's brain does it. So the flying gantry is like the beams doing this while they're going like this, okay? So it's like a dancing laser, if you will. That's how my brain interprets it. Someone else is probably going to be able to give you a scientific explanation, but in Bev's world, it is a dancing, moving laser. Okay. So you get the best of both worlds where it's going to be fast. It's going to be able to recognize some different surface levels. And it's going to also be able to do things that maybe like a CO2 or a fiber laser alone couldn't do. So I've never seen one in person. From the videos I watched whenever I got curious of people commenting that on the group, and I went and looked, that's what it seems like to me. So yes. So thank you so much, Miss Patricia. So will it print on jeans? Yes, it will print on anything on the DT side as long as you get it down smooth. So that is really going to be the biggest thing, is that you want it to be flat and smooth for it to print evenly. So like, for example, if you have like your jeans pocket up and you have that on the platen, you're going to be able to print on the pocket, but not on the side that is below the pocket, if that makes sense. And so, yay. So Bev's dancing laser, that's what we're just going to start calling them, right? It's not a flying galvo. Everyone's going to walk around going, look, it's a dancing laser. So I dare you guys to do that at next level. Just go up to the xTool booth and go, hey, is Bev's dancing laser here? And see what they say. So yes, thank you, Laser Craftworks. But a galvo has limited surface and a gantry. Yes, exactly. See, it's the dancing laser. So processing area, but also keep the speed capabilities. Yes, that is my understanding. And so my very limited understanding. And let's see what we have here. And we're going to go ahead and finish printing. It's taking, this is so cute. I'm very sad that the top, that my white got a little bit off, but I definitely think that it is because I'm somehow not level in there, although I thought I was level, but things happen. Let's see here. It's looking pretty good though. This might be where Bev in her craftiness will just take a paint pen and kind of outline some things and make it look like it's the way it's supposed to be. Let's see here. And we need finger bells. Yes, we do need finger bells. That would be fun, right? And so, hey, Linda, to enter, you have to scan the QR code. The emails in the stream don't count for anything. So you need to scan the QR code to enter to win. And if you use the code BEVWebinar50, you'll save $50 off, and the prices go up at midnight tonight. And so, Denise, you need to scan the QR code. There's no emails in the stream, won't count for anything. So unfortunately, you need to scan the QR code. And then if you purchase and you want to save $50 off, and I believe that the $50 off is good for any other machine as well. So I don't think it's necessarily just the O1. So if there's something else that you're looking at, then I think that the code will work. And from what I understand, the code will work for 3 days or something like that. The code will work for a couple more days, but the sale ends tonight. So just keep that in mind if there's something else on your wish list. And so let's see here. So yeah, I lost somewhere around midway. I don't know what I did, but it's okay because we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our eraser next. And it is what it is. I'm going to, let's see here, shut the chat down. And then I'm going to hide this so that I can come back over to our board. And let's see here. And I think we're almost done. Oops. Which one are we? We're on this one right there. And so it did. And you guys, I'm so sad because at the bottom, we're off to such a good start. And I think I was unbalanced. Somehow I must have moved at the top. But let's see here. This is kind of one of those things that sometimes we just live and learn. It is what it is. But so see up here, you guys can see where I smeared. And that is generally when you have overspray like that, it's generally because something is just not not level. So what I am going to do, because we had overspray, let me just show you guys what your best practice is. So if you ever have overspray like that, you're going to want to clean any of your areas that are on here, because you do not want the overspray to mess up your scanners. So you don't want you don't want any distortion, things like that. So I'm going to put my small tray on here. I'm going to switch trays. And then I'm going to take my water and I'm going to take I keep a little, look, this one's really dirty, but I keep a microfiber cloth. This is my plant sprayer, my plant mister, and it's just water. And I'm going to come over here. And so, yes, absolutely. Even without the varnish, you can get the shine on there. And so, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over here where am I doing? Nope. I'm going to show you right here, but I have to go into the software to show you how we move it. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say device control, and we're going to switch. And I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to say device control, and I'm going to move my print head left just a little bit, just like that, because I want to be able to wipe down all of my scanners and make sure that those are clean since I had overspray. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe them right here. And I'm going to wipe off this side right here. And just a little bit of water is all you need. You don't want it wet. You just want a little bit of dampness. and everything looks nice and clean. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right there, our UV lamp. And then after that, we just close the lid and we tell it to, there we go. We tell it to reset all axes. And it's going to go ahead and move it back. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just run a print head clean just because I don't know. I'm going to switch over to the UV. I'm just going to run a quick standard cleaning after the motion resets, just because whatever I did would not be in line. And I know that it's me because the bottom half is perfect and the top half is not. So I know that I didn't have something level. If the whole thing was off, then I know that something is off in my equipment. But because we're half and half, I know that this was a Bev mistake. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And while that is doing, while it's cleaning, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and find my, there's my, right there. Did I not put a name? I guess I didn't put a name on here. And go to here and put my eraser design. There we go. So that way I'm ready whenever I scan, and we're going to go ahead and we can do on here. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead, change this to, oh, you know what? I don't have any fonts on my laptop because I just got this laptop and I haven't changed any. So we'll do that. And we'll go ahead and we're going to fill that with and we're going to stroke in pink. There we go. So now I have my name ready, and I'm going to go ahead and I don't remember if I started that or not. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that, and I'm going to put my name right here on my pennant like that. And whoops, right there. And that may not be quite perfect, but it's okay. It's good enough for what we're doing. And I'm going to put my eraser right on my bed. And as soon as that finishes, we're going to tell it to scan. I'm also going to go ahead and group this together so it's just one set of instructions for it. Oh, this is telling me that it is a vector, which is fine. We're going to do white and color on that, and we're going to do white and color, and we're going to do fast on both of them. And yep. And so that way, and so now I'm going to go ahead and scan my bed. And here we go. So weird being on this screen where I can't see you guys commenting. I'm going to, while it's scanning, I'm going to come back and see what you guys are doing. So I missed you. Let's see here. Let's see. Sandy, make sure that you scan, and there you go. Make sure that you scan if you want to enter to win. And so let's see, guys. I'm so sad. I really am. I was very excited because see, I don't know if you guys can see this, but see the bottom half is absolutely perfect. And then come up here. So this is me. This is a error over there, but it's okay. There we go. So now we're scanned. I'm going to come back here and we're going to turn these off again. So that way, there we go. And so you guys can see the whole bed. There. Yay. Okay. Here we go. And so now I can do this like this and try to size it, or I can go ahead and smart mask, which is what I'm going to choose to do. I'm going to run my extraction and it should just pick up my rectangle for me. There we go. I'm going to hit apply and I'm going to drag this on here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off my lock button there so I can just go ahead and make it there. That looks perfect. And so we're going to do that. And I'm going to tell it to process. And this will be the last thing we do. So we're 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the eraser, and we are going to use, looks like 2 cents of ink, maybe 3 cents of ink right there. And let's go ahead and tell it to print. And there we go. There, good. So now we're going to go ahead and start printing over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and come back to the chat. And so can I varnish over existing items? Yes, you absolutely can. And I have before. So whenever so yes, Melissa, right there, if you scan the QR code, that is 3 winners for a UV ink set. So scan the QR code. And then if you are purchasing anything equipment wise, you can use the Bev webinar 50 to save $50 off. And so, yes, I could put this back in and I could varnish the entire thing if I wanted to. I could just smart mask it and I could put varnish only. You could go back and you can do varnish on just about anything. And so you could do, you could put your cigar bands and seal them in like that as well. And so let's see here. Smart masking makes me feel, I know, right? That smart mask is such, I mean, I don't know how many times, like, especially like coming from sublimation, things like that, like you're trying to size things or you're trying to do a bleed or you're, even lasering, like lasering jewelry. I blow up that piece of jewelry and I'm trying to size everything right to the edges. And that smart mask makes it so, so easy. So I love that feature. And so here we go. We are doing great on this one. Now, this eraser has a little bit of a bend, but not bad. I think we're going to do just fine on it. And watching it to make sure, because, and so, yes. So, Melissa, yes, scan the QR code. That is 3 winners will be picked from the live. From the live, I think. Live orders only, 3 winners take home a UV ink set. So I just know that there's a giveaway. That's what I know. So, but there is a giveaway tonight. And so after this, we're going to bundle up our little gift set for our teacher, which I really think the eraser with the dry erase is such a cute idea too. The QR code goes to the xTool page. Oh, I don't know then. I just know that 3 winners take home a UV set. I don't make the rules here. So I don't know. The QR code. So I don't know. Maybe they're picking winners from anyone who purchases during the live. So I don't know the answer to that. And I apologize. So I just know that there's a QR code. So yes. So Tay, I think that you're correct. So I'm not sure on that one. But let's see here. We are doing excellent over here. So if you have, if you're going back to school and you want a cute set, this would be so cute. You could tie it. You could put a little gift card on it for your teacher. I miss having, like when your kids are in high school, like my last one, she's a senior, you don't really do the cutesy stuff. Like, we painted her parking space, we decorated her car, but like the cutesy stuff for teachers, you don't really, I miss doing those things. Those were fun things. So I miss being the room mom and making all the fun things with the kids. But anyway, maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to make something else. But that's so let's see here, guys. We're almost printed. This one's so cute. Oh my gosh. Absolutely perfect. So cute. I could make erasers all day. Melissa, maybe you should. We were talking about that earlier. Someone didn't want to have two machines. I will tell you though, the other day I had a customer, she brought me some stuff and it was just like this pile of like samples. She needed all these samples done. And it was like one of those drudgery projects, right? Because you had to keep changing everything that you were doing. And I had both the dual UV and this one going at the same time and getting them done. So I love printing the erasers. And so here's the eraser. You guys tell me how, whoops, I don't know which way I'm going there. Tell me how absolutely adorable this is. Okay. And the t-shirt design is listed in my shop, but I will add the eraser and the clipboard design if you want me to tomorrow. If anyone wants that, I can add the design that's sized for the eraser and for the clipboard as well. But the t-shirt design is already in my shop. So let me see here. I'm just going to tie this up with a little ribbon. I did a polka dot ribbon with this because I thought it would be cute. And so let me see here. We're going to move this over. And so, whoops. Right there. There you go. There. And so you guys look how cute this is. So just add a few little, I mean, I'm sure that someone could come up with a cute little phrase for the dry erase markers. And so it says only updates weekly, right? So hey Melissa, why not? And let's see. So I know I don't like engraving them at all. And I used to engrave them, but I think that they're just, sometimes I think that engraving is the perfect solution. And then sometimes color is just the perfect solution. And I think that this one is definitely color is the perfect solution for this. So I think it's just adorable. So that is your eraser and marker set. And it goes with the t-shirt right here. And then sadly, I'll need to reprint my clipboard, but that's just one of those things that happens. But what a cute little set. You absolutely like the cutest little set that you could give to a teacher. And can you imagine like the new teachers, like they don't have any of the t-shirts, they don't have any of the stuff. So if you have a new teacher at your school, they might love a little gift like that. And so that's it, guys. And so you could do an eraser that looks like, yep, absolutely. So many ideas to do with this. So that's it. That's all. And so the t-shirt is on my website. It's called Back to School Pennants, and which is www.Soul and Grace Designs, and along with the one that we did earlier, whoever asked for this design, this one is also on the website. And then I will list the eraser file and the clipboard file tomorrow too for you guys. And that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, hey, Holler. I think color on this, especially, I don't know, teachers, I just think they love that, unless it's a guy teacher. I just think that the color is just fun, really fun for that. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And if you need anything, have any questions, feel free. You're free to send me a message. I'm just Bev Pennington on Facebook. And that's all. Good night, guys.